steel guitar that is played in a lot of bluegrass and was, quite early on.
How much plastic is lying at the bottom of this huge lake? Whoa!
Close and personal with her, I know.
This is what makes the job so fantastic.
Welcome back. Now, the BBC is the oldest permanent fixture in British television. But while its revenue model, the licence fee, is almost as old as the corporation itself, the broadcasting landscape has been turned upside down. It's led to a huge debate over whether the near universal licence fee can be justified when fewer people are using the BBC services. Well, joining me now is Baroness Starr. She's the Conservative Chair of the Communications and Digital Committee in the House of Lords and a former BBC executive. Baroness Starr, welcome to you. Your committee called for the licence fee to be replaced by a household levy. What was the thinking there?
It's not quite what we called for. We did a very extensive inquiry into BBC Future funding. It took us 6 months. We published our report last month, and we were quite clear that there would be a need for some form of public funding for the BBC into the future. We haven't ruled out that that might come from a modified version of a licence fee in the future. It could come from a universal levy on houses aligned with the council tax, but we didn't specify any replacement. What we've done is look at the pros and cons of various different options, and critically what we've said to the BBC, and don't forget this is a cross-party and non-party committee, we've said that it's the BBC who's got to take the lead in this debate. They've got to come forward and they've got to start by defining what is the role of the BBC in the next part of the 21st century. It's got to set out what it's for and not just rely on the fact that it's there to inform, educate and entertain, but in a world full of choice, which is affecting people's viewing habits, why should they come to the BBC and why should they pay a compulsory public source their own money in a way which is compulsory for that service? And what we've tried to do is move this debate away from a political battle between one institution with another to one which is actually more about how can we best serve the interests of the UK as a whole.
If we were to go down this road of a compulsory household levy, would you envisage that being more or less than the current licence fee?
Well, as I say, we're not recommending, we haven't, what we've done is trying to, as I say, take this debate forward and the sort of debate about BBC future funding is something which is urgent. It's all very well for people to say, oh, well, we don't need to do it now, charter review is not for a few years' time. The funding level for the BBC is going down, and how it is going to be funded needs to be sorted out. And what we've said about about household levy is that, as I say, it could be aligned to the council tax. One of the benefits from that could be that it would be a lower call on people's, be a lower fee. But one of the negatives of that option would be compulsory. So the licence fee is something that we all opt into, whereas a household levy would be something that you would have to pay, and that clearly wouldn't necessarily be something that's welcome. So no decisions by us, but we're trying to get people to focus on this as a proper issue.
One thing that your committee did say, though, was that the BBC shouldn't go down the fully advertising or fully subscription-funded model. Why was that?
What we did say, though, that it should examine very carefully a sort of a hybrid model of public funding with some kind of subscription. The reason why we wouldn't propose complete advertising is because it wouldn't raise enough revenue for it to be a sort of an effective national broadcaster, and it would have a very damaging effect on ITV and Channel 4 and Channel 5. But as far as the sort of full subscription model, I think the thing with that is that it wouldn't raise the revenue, and the impact it would have on the kind of broadcaster the BBC is, it would just turn it into something which was like all the others, which comes back again to the important point is Why do we need a BBC? What is it for? And it's not for politicians to determine that, it's for the BBC itself. And they need to not hope and wait that another Secretary of State or somebody else will come along and decide this is not a priority. They need to make it a priority and get on the front foot and actually set out a case for themselves in the future.
Now, another potential funding model that you looked at and ruled out was direct government grants. I mean, that works in countries like the Netherlands and in Australia. Why would it be inappropriate here?
I think with that, I mean, it would just start to undermine the independence of the BBC, and I think that's our fear with that. So that's not a route that we would recommend. But as I say, there's many other things that we've looked at, but we haven't ruled them out or ruled them in.
But I mean, it's the route that France appears to be going. I mean, France has just abolished its TV licence. They seem to be going down that route.
That's true, and I think one of the other things that is important for us in the UK to recognise is that there's lots of change in terms of funding of public service broadcasters across Europe. Ireland have just decided that they're going to keep the licence fee, but they're going to reform it. So there's, this is not a debate that is starting with, any particular politician. This is happening, and we need to face up to it, and the BBC needs to face up to it and get on the front foot about it.
Now, you've stressed that this is a cross-party committee. It's impartial, but as a Conservative peer, I've got to ask you. I mean, Liz Truss was very rude about the BBC the other day. Is the corporation going to be safe under a Liz Truss government?
I think she was just joking. I think I wouldn't take that too seriously. I mean, look, the Conservative Party is very much, the thing about the BBC, and in fact you sort of saw it last night in Emily Maitlis's speech. This is broadcasters, journalists. They get too hung up on what politicians think about them, or they think that politicians are, the cause of a whole lot of difficulties. And I think impartiality in this world is becoming increasingly complex. I think it was interesting to hear Emily Maitlis outline that last night. But it is very wrong of broadcasters and journalists to think that what happened in 2016 and the events followed was only because of politicians. There's a whole lot that's changed in this world, and I think our real focus, whether it's as politicians or whether it's as broadcasters or journalists, should be on audiences, understanding them and making sure that we are serving all of them. The politicians will have to look after themselves in terms of whether they get votes and they get elected, and the broadcasters and journalists will have to look after themselves. But if you focus on audiences instead of politicians, then I think you won't go far wrong.
I mean, Emily Maitlis indicated last night that she thought that the news in particular kind of tiptoes around Brexit these days. Do you think that was a valid criticism?
I think that, Brexit has happened. We are in the world that we're in. I don't think we, should be harking back to the events of 2016. I think we are in a world where, we should be looking forward. We've got a lot of tough challenges that everybody is facing, and we've got to come up with solutions to those challenges. And what journalists and broadcasters should be doing is examining how politicians, the government, the opposition, what their proposals are for addressing those. That's what I think we should be doing.
All right, Baroness Stoll, very good to talk to you. Thanks for joining me this morning.
Thanks for having me on.
Well, this is Ian King live from the Edinburgh TV Festival. After this short break, we will have much more from here at the Conference Centre in Edinburgh, and we are also expecting an update from Merseyside Police on the terrible events there earlier this week. Stay tuned.
If I could show you a way where you could generate over £19,000 from just one property deal that you don't even have to own, would that be of interest? Well, my name's Liam Ryan and I've been in property now for over 20 years. Let me introduce you to a high cash flowing asset. This is Severn Court, one of my properties in Colchester. You can get these properties in your area even by owning them, using other people's money or your own money, or you can control the asset and do something called rent to rent. Now, this property was a 4-bedroom house that I converted with my build team into 6 rooms. So this is what we call a HMO, a house in multiple occupancy. Those rooms rent out for £500 per calendar month. That gives us an income of £3,000. I have a mortgage on the property, which is £700. We then cover the bills, £85.
Welcome to Gabby Dave Global. We are a UK-based online e-commerce store, the first of its kind with license to trade in African products. Some of the products are clothing brands and all beauty accessories, hair and beauty brands, natural aphrodisiacs, processed and dried unprocessed food. Our mission at Gabby Dave is to connect African and Caribbean businesses to customers globally. At Gabby Dave, we ensure our sellers get the best deal for their products. We are not just here to help you reach a wider audience. We are also a distribution center to support business growth by fulfilling orders to your customers from our warehouse, making sure customers receive their products on time. We are inviting all Black-owned businesses to trade on our platform because we strongly believe Africans have a unique brand the customer would appreciate globally. So get in touch today and let us make your product and business go far. Here are some of the benefits of using Gabby Dave Global. User-friendly platform, track your shipment, online support, transparent process, multiple SKUs, multiple products, a platform that encourages manufacturers as well as traders. Our marketing and PR interventions amplifies yours. Organized products and categories for easy access and navigation. Access to global community, especially within UK and Europe.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Starr, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Check me out.
He tells me my energy is making him tired.
Yes!
How do you get the energy to do
I've been told that I have a lot of energy, but my goodness, I think today I have met my match, people. I have met my match, Miss Suzanne. Wow, amazing.
One of the things that's the start of the darkness. The whole of darkness.
So what did that
Myself and the world will adjust. And 2019,
forget the proverbial boardroom. Join me, Simone Frazier, on The CEO, the program that gives you the driving seat over your life. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. only on Starr Radio.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour Show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour Show is your best source into the property industry.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of a prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820. Or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamp Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
Show them you got the cocoa set. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Harry Song, aka Mr. Songs. This is the Kingmaker Baba for the girls. We're here. This is Star Radio. Don't go nowhere. UK, London. We they call them London for home. For here, we they call them London. And I sabi you know, just have fun and stay blessed.
Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7. The best radio show.
All around the world. In your car.
At work.
At home.
On your smartphone.
This is Starr Radio UK. Are you ready to turn it up?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
This is Starr Radio. This is UK. Starr Radio UK. This is Starr Radio UK.
Welcome.
Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
Enlighten your day with Starr Radio. Starr Radio. Radio for the people, by the people.
Welcome.
I will dwell here at your
Okay, and that's how I say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you wherever you might be on planet Earth, and those of you on other planets as well. We want to welcome you all to the Star Radio UK Morning Show. Today's Thursday, the 25th day of August, the year 2022, with the time now 10:43 from the House of London. And it is the Star Radio UK Morning Show. I am your one and only Archie. And once again, I say welcome to the show. Wherever you are listening to us from this morning, let me say a special good morning to the team. Mr. Olayomi, Koiki, good morning to you. Mr. Francis Guy, my able producer, Mr. Frank Davis, also working behind the scenes. Morning to you all, guys. To Amaya Jurgene all the way in Niger, good morning to you. To Aziz in the US, Anthony Adedeji in the US, good morning to you. To Miss Gold in UAE. And then to the one and only Isaac Makiva in the US, I salute you. Sir Moses, I hope you are doing very well. Massive good morning to you all. But it's again another opportunity to come your way with the morning show. I mean, where we meet, share what is going on across the globe. So of course, as I say all the time, from archaeology to zoology, from Accra to Zanzibar, if it's making the headlines, why not? I'm going to touch on it, so brace yourself. So if you're sitting, sit very comfortably, standing, hold on to something. Get yourself a hot or cold drink, whichever is appropriate. And let's take this journey. This is not journey to unknown, journey to the known. But though it gets bumpy, be rest assured, a safe arrival at your destination by me, your one and only. Playing in the background, something from Pastor Theodore Boache and Starr featuring Monk. Let me say good morning also to Pastor Emmanuel Chidi and all the men of God who join us on this platform. I salute each and every one of you. To our presenters on Star Radio UK, good morning and welcome. So let's crack on now. Star Radio UK. Now, if it's the first time of tuning in on the Thursday edition, I'll bring you the quote for the day, the weather forecast to follow you, the travel update as well. We'll move on to have a look at some of the stories making the rounds across the globe. At 11 o'clock, we have Olayomi Koiki joining us. At 12 o'clock, the lines are open for you to add your voice to the discussions. And because of technical upgrades, that's still going on. At 12:30, we'll bring the curtains down for the end of the program. So in the gist, that's what we're going to be doing. But please share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones and invite them to like our pages as well. I will dwell. The question for today says today is a product of yesterday and likewise tomorrow a product of today. So think through things before you do them. Because for every action there is equal and opposite reaction. At times not equal, at times the reactions are quite higher than that. Okay, let me take you straight to the weather front. It's been raining today here in London and the southeast of England. But well, rain will clear away to the northeast through the afternoon and sunshine will develop by evening. Now tonight we'll see dry conditions and clear skies with just a few patches of cloud drifting in towards dawn. A few patches of mist and fog may also develop under clear spells. A cooler night expected as well. Temperature 21 degrees, the lowest 13 degrees. Pollen level is going to be moderate, UV level low, and pollution low as well. Sunset 20:03 and sunrise for tomorrow morning 06:01 hours. That brings us to the end of the weather forecast. Let's take a quick break and I'll bring you the travel updates. Star Radio UK.
Tune in to On Point here on Star Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Keep your eyes on the roads. Keep your eyes on the roads. I'll keep you navigated. I promise I'll be on the Starr Radio UK travel update. I can see every weekday from 10:40. It's now 10:48. So moving on straight on the underground this morning. Minor delays on the second line due to train cancellations, and on the Jubilee line as well, because minor delays due to train cancellations there as well. The London Overground also got severe delays between Queen's Park and Watford Junction due to an earlier fire alert at Watford Junction. Severe delays between Stratford and Clapham Junction due to signaling problems at Willesden Junction. Good service on the all other routes. But continue to keep your eyes on the roads as we keep you navigated. Now on the London Trams link until the 31st of August, no service between Wimbledon and Therapia Lane. Replacement buses operating between Wimbledon and Warden Marsh. That aside, all the other underground lines, good service there. DLR, good service there as well. Now let's move on straight to the major roads in London. Now, A12 has got closures, A13 closures, A23 closures, A24 closures, A4 closures, A41 closures. Now, Central London Red Roads closures there as well. South Circular A205 closures there as well. And North Circular A406 has got serious delays. Do your best if you can avoid it to avoid that. But if you are stuck in there, continue to listen to us. Because as and when there are any changes, I promise you one thing for sure. You got to know, I'll bring it to the fore. And then now moving on to the Riverbar this morning. The Woolwich race has got special service. That aside, all the others good service there. Now moving on to the National Rail. National Rail, Avanti West Coast has got reduced timetable and disruption at Watford Junction. C2C has got good service. Gatwick Express has also got minor delays on some routes, so check it out. Now, Great Northern minor delays on some routes as well, and then we have Great Anglia minor delays on some routes. London North Eastern Railway minor delays there as well, and then we've got Merseyrail minor delays. Southern, Southeastern, and Southwestern Railway have all got minor delays. Transport for Wales minor delays there as well. That aside, all the others have got good service. 10:51 the time. And I would say it once again. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you wherever you might be on planet Earth. Enjoy your commute for today. But you know what? Continue to keep those eyes on the roads.
Welcome to Gabby Dave Global. We are a UK-based online e-commerce store, the first of its kind with license to trade in African products. Some of the products are clothing brands and all beauty accessories, hair and beauty brands, natural aphrodisiacs, processed and dried unprocessed food. Our mission at Gabby Dave is to connect African and Caribbean businesses to customers globally. At Gabby Dave, we ensure our sellers get the best deal for their products. We are not just here to help you reach a wider audience. We are also a distribution center to support business growth by fulfilling orders to your customers from our warehouse, making sure customers receive their products on time. We are inviting all Black-owned businesses to trade on our platform because we strongly believe Africans have a unique brand the customer would appreciate globally. So get in touch today and let us make your product and business go far. Here are some of the benefits of using Gabby Dave Global. User-friendly platform, track your shipment, online support, transparent process, multiple SKUs, multiple products, a platform that encourages manufacturers as well as traders. Our marketing and PR interventions amplifies yours. Organized products and categories for easy access and navigation. Access to global community, especially within UK and Europe.
UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, bringing the time now to 7 minutes to the top of the hour, and it's now time for Global Trotting. So let's move on. Let's look at some of the stories making the rounds this morning. All right then. So straight on. Now, when it comes to Nigeria, some of the stories I'm going to be looking at: 15 APC senators take decision on defection. Whoa, that's a big one. And then 2023, stop behaving as if you own PDP. Ex-governor fires Wike. All right then. And then some breaking story coming through. President Buhari finally speaks on supporting Peter Obi. All right. That is quite an interesting one. We'll be looking at that. The Katsina governor says unknown Obi, veteran loser, Atiku, not better than Tinubu. Well, we'll see. Is this going to be the obedience or what? And is that election going to hold at all? Well, some more going to be coming your way. Shakaru talk with PDP has reached advanced stage. Those are some of the stories making the rounds there. But a lot more going to be coming your way, so stay tuned. Don't you even think of going away. Share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones and invite them to like our pages. In some other story, now the Ethiopian government has shut down plane heading to the Tigray area. Guterres urges cessation of hostilities. Now, what is exactly happening there? Now, that plane, was it a cargo plane? Was it a plane that was carrying food stuff and others to the Tigray area? Because yes, I think was it last week or early part of this week, we had the World Organization boss himself making, because he comes from the Tigray area, saying that, well, he thinks that if because of the color of our skin color was that of Caucasians, then definitely they will have the international communities, getting themselves involved in that. And the Ethiopian government was saying, president was saying that no, or the Ethiopian government was saying no, you shouldn't say those things and stuff like that. But look at what is happening there. We'll be looking more into those stories that's making the rounds on the African continent. Now, moving on straight to Ghana as well. What are some of the stories making the rounds there? I'll be bringing you more on that front. Now, when it comes to Ghana, police on manhunt for Odike's attackers and withdraw post-retirement contracts of GES Deputy Director General Apak to Ekufuado. Well, the man is supposed to go on retirement, and well, the government decided to extend his tenure as a deputy, and the teachers have gone bonkers about that. Now, what do you think? Chiripani crashes, 12 persons arrested to face court today. Now, women to lose traditional jobs as future points to masculine dominance is a study that has come out with that, and it's quite an interesting one. We'll be looking into it in details. Now, Media Tio demands retraction apology from Odike over Galamsey comments. Well, how true was that comment that he made? Interesting. Well, when he says that Menchia was also in the know pertaining to what is happening when it comes to the Galamsey issue, well, they said that he has to retract that. Now, what more can this poor man say? Well, Akufo-Addo's governance has made Mahama look like Jesus Christ. Who is speaking again? KKD. I don't know what he is going to have now. He's on the path. Okay. Actually, hitting the incumbent government at the moment. All right then. So this is what's going to be coming your way. Now, moving on to other parts of the world as well. Russian strike on rail station kills 25 Ukraine. The deadly attack on passenger carriages came 6 months to the day since Russia's invasion. And police chief fired over Texas school shooting. Peter Arredondo has been much criticized for officers' 77-minute delay in confronting the teen gunman. And French anger at UK sewage dumped in sea. You allow migrants to cross the channel. Now they decide to also dump feces in the waste in the sea, and now you are crying. Okay, Kobe Bryant's widow awarded $60 million over crash photos. My goodness. Well, that's a sad one. The journalist who published that. You know, at times there's a thin line. There seems to be a thin line between what you can say or show and what you can't. Now, is it that maybe they needed to cover the faces of Kobe Bryant, the victims of that accident or that crash, or they can show it. I mean, it's quite bad. We'll be looking into that. So, a few times when there are accidents and you have people standing there with their mobile phones and videoing everything, and at times you see some of the images and it's like you get all that. It's gory. You get all that wind up and stuff like that. UK ex-envoy to Myanmar has been arrested. Now, Vicky Bowman and her Burmese husband ran a center which encourages businesses to respect human rights. So where were they arrested at? We'll be looking into the Japan police chief resigns over Abe assassination. Now, local police have previously said there were undeniable flaws in security for the former prime ministers. South Korea records world's lowest fertility rate again. Now, figures show that just 0.81 children per woman are being born in the country. Oh my goodness. Well. When things like that happen, it is the next generation will have to suffer, because they wouldn't have enough of them round to actually look at what is happening there. Now, GCSE result, North-South divide in England widens. Now, students in England, Wales and Northern Ireland are getting results for the first GCSE exams in 3 years. And then Suna criticizes COVID lockdown response. Now, former chancellor says discussions of negative side effects of government action was not allowed. Okay. So is that why they were holding on until lots of people died? No, those people who died as well, their families also have to sue government, because if you look at what was happening at the time, they looked at it that, well, we cannot, those who were in the care homes who were just dying like chicken feed the people. I mean, if there was a lockdown or in that respect, or some restrictions of a sort, we wouldn't have seen that magnitude of death. But while he's saying that too much power was given to the scientists for them to say, you know what, you gotta shut it, you gotta do that, and well. You want to know more? Stay tuned, don't you go away. Enjoy this song and I'll be with you. It is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. To Abiodun, over to you, thumbs up to you and love you, lost there as well. And I believe yourself channel, Sir Robert Olaniwaju, okay, Tio, okay, one, alright then, I hope I got it right. So well done, I did do you, alright then, okay, we also love you greatly, and thank you very much for joining us there as well. Share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones. Those of you on all the other platforms, we salute you all. Enjoy the program.
Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Tune in to On Point here on Star Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Check me out. He tells me my energy is making him tired.
Yes!
How do you get the energy to do
I've been told that I have a lot of energy, but my goodness, I think today I have met my match, people. I have met my match, Miss Suzanne. Wow, amazing.
One of the things that's the start of the darkness. The whole of darkness.
So what did that
myself and the world will adjust. And 2019,
forget the proverbial boardroom. Join me, Simone Frazier, on the CEO, the program that gives you the driving seat over your life. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. only on Star Radio.
Welcome back to the program. It is Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, bringing the time now to 9 minutes past the top of the hour. And it is time for us to bring you updates from Nigeria. But before then, let me acknowledge Prince Abimbola today. He says, good morning, Mr. Archie and White Lion. Wow, what a nice praise and worship to start the day. Yes. Giving thanks and praise to the Most High. Yes, Yoruba Nation has come to stay in the name of Jesus. And let's hear a big amen for that. Amen. All right then. Now let's go to the White Lion, who is also in the North London studios, who is already there to fire on all cylinders. Yomi, good morning to you. We can't hear you.
About that, I actually muted the mic. Good morning to you, Mr. Archie. Good morning to all our listeners. Good morning to all our viewers. Because what we can say is we are not living in that 40 years ago. We are where people can see us, and I say good morning as you're joining the morning broadcast. As usual, it's all about the news from Nigeria, and I can only say good morning to every single one of you.
How are you? How are you after a very smashing program last night once again?
Well, yesterday, was just any other beautiful day. As we can say, yesterday was marvelous. We had, and when you get the color coming through, you quite understand that a lot of people have a lot of things to say. This is Star Radio UK, your finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. And then all I can say is, when we look at, what happened on the Niger Voices yesterday, it already shows that there's so much to discuss, and I will be discussing a bit of that. Those that probably do not know what is Niger Voices, this is a program that was put together some almost 5 years ago, on Star Radio UK. Is the African, the voice of Africa and the voice of the people. And what we decided then was, we will be discussing issues affecting Nigerians, both in Nigeria and the diaspora as well. So if you have missed the edition yesterday, you will have to join us again next week, Wednesday, at about 6 p.m. local time, when we're going to be discussing more issues affecting Nigerians. Not just Nigerians that's around, those that are now saying that there's nothing called Nigeria, we are the indigenous people. So I come back again to you in the studio before we review what actually happened yesterday.
Yes, listeners, it is Mr. Olayomi Koiki in our North London studios. Let me say good morning to Miss Gold as well. It says good day. I know that UAE is afternoon now. I hope you are doing very, very well. So in just a nutshell, what was discussed with the calls and everything that was coming to the comments? I mean, I saw the comments, lots of them. But what did you think the mind of the people were on the discussions? Which way, the way forward for Nigeria?
Well, the topic yesterday that I have with me was Nigeria. What is the way forward? I mean, when we look at Nigeria today, Nigeria has played its role when it comes to issues among the other African countries as a big brother. Nigeria has played its role for the last 62 years, whether favorable to Nigerians or unfavorable to Nigeria. It depends on what you look like. But again, it's coming up to be another election as it's been planned by the government, in 2023. But it seems that there's a lot of issues, that is already on the table. And just to, to summarize it, let's take a look at what, the late singer Sonny Okoso actually sang. Which way, Nigeria? Which way to go? Which way to go? I love my fatherland. A lot of people love Nigeria, but I'm not sure whether the name Nigeria love the people. I mean, in terms of even getting a Nigerian passport is one of the most difficult things to get. So you wonder, as much as the love that a lot of people were giving to Nigeria, they were not getting the love back. Which way forward? There was a late singer as well from the Yoruba musician named, the late Dr. Sikiru Ayinde Barrister. He actually prophesied the war and the breakup of Nigeria. He talked about the Arewa we have to go, the Oduduwa we have to go, and the Biafra we have to go. I'm talking about some 20 years ago, and the music was also played during the program yesterday. He said the only way that this is not going to happen, some 20 years ago when he sang the song, was that there would have to be unity and love in Nigeria. Do we have that? Is the question. Some of the caller yesterday, someone said that Nigeria is like a snake, and when you cut the snake, it's still trying to fight back. So it seems Nigeria is trying to fight itself back to keep it together. That's number one. We had another caller talked about, the transparency, the accountability that has never been there, when you talk about Nigeria. Again, somebody said Nigeria has been an experiment, and that has actually expired in 2014. We also had people say it would be better to have a peaceful dissolution, just as it was done, in other climate like the Soviet Union and the other countries that we've witnessed, some few years back, when it comes to, unity among themselves. But the question this morning is, will Nigeria turn off the oxygen? All my listener yesterday said, just turn it off, because, and somebody said, don't even turn it off, it's already turned off, because we want to save that oxygen for the so many new nations that will eventually come out of Nigeria should Nigeria break up.
Well, do you think Nigeria is going to break up at all? If you are listening to us this morning, you might think that these people are living on a different planet. Hey, I can see some positivity somewhere. But others are, or majority of people are pessimistic about the whole thing, thinking that, look, we've gotten to a place where the oxygen, whether it's brain dead, Nigeria is brain dead already. Let's just turn the oxygen off and let everybody go their separate ways. But what do you think about all that? That program comes your way every Wednesday, 18 hours UK time. Yes, that program comes your way. And let me say good morning to my apologies, Adegbola Adetaya Tayo, my apologies today. It says good morning, Mr. Archie and Mr. Koiki. Lots of love to you as well. Believe Yourself channel, love you brothers, we love you too, and welcome them where you are. What you want to guys is good morning, Archie and Mr. Koiki. Thanks for bringing the world to our doorsteps, and that is our duty. We'll do our best to bring that your way. So if you want to share your take with us on any of the issues, feel free and share it with us. Alright then, now let's go to some of the update that's making the rounds in Nigeria. But before we come to what Yomi has posted there was a couple of stories that I saw. Let me ask your take on that, because it looks like information coming through is saying that the president is finally supporting Peter Obi. How true is that story? Have you come across that?
Well, I've not actually come across that, because like I said, there's a lot of news traveling in Nigeria. Yeah. But all I can say is I'm not sure whether Buhari would definitely go to that line, especially that APC itself is going through a lot. There could be all sort of people saying all different kind of things, but for Buhari to say that he's going to support Peter Obi would be one of the biggest mistakes he would have to say, especially in this very tough political terrain, especially with somebody like Tinubu that is bitterly upset, and he actually had to be given that ticket so that it doesn't cause more problem to the party.
Okay. Well, information coming through is that the presidency has debunked that statement, saying that it's not true, that people are just trying to use that. But somebody who said that there's no smoke without fire. So what do you think? Adibambo Anthony Paul said, good morning, my brothers. You are doing well. Thank you very, very much. All right, then. Now, let's come to some of the stories now. The PDP worries over Wike and WC Miss Governorship candidates. Now, Wike is being like a spanner in the web of the ruling government. Now, so what is all that?
Well, Wike is still very bitter. He's the governor of of Rivers State currently. He tried everything, to become, the presidential aspirant for the PDP, and he has been very loyal, according to, the sources, that has been somebody that have kept the party going. But he believes that Atiku, have just come from nowhere and have hijacked, the ticket. Even though we know that PDP did not want to zone their ticket to the south, because if you look at the rotational and the way it has been, the southeast is meant to have the ticket, and that means should Atiku was not interested person in that race, that means Wike would have been the chances of becoming the presidential aspirant for PDP, but there are still increasing fears that the People's Democratic Party and the crisis between its presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar and the Rivers State Governor Nelson Wike may affect his chances in 2023. I actually saw in news yesterday that Wike is having a meeting with Tinubu here in London. I can't confirm that, but that was something that I picked up in the media news yesterday. The party leader who spoke to one of the media in Nigeria expressed concern about the growing relationship between Wike and some influential members of the All Progressive Congress, describing the development as worrisome. And if that is going to be the case, that we already saw Peter Obi lobbying with Wike, we're not sure whether Wike will move political party, but time will tell. Like I did talk about it, a lot is going to happen before 2023 as we continue to monitor that, from here in London. And I come back again to you in the studio, Mr. Archie.
Yes, listeners, Mr. Olayomi Koiki in our North London studios bringing you updates from Nigeria. Whilst we go on, let me acknowledge Pastor Momo. It's a well done, eminent man, for giving us the latest news. And Pastor Momo goes on, Nigeria is already in ruins. Break it up and let people leave Yoruba Nation now. All right then. Well, what do you think? Let's continue on 19 minutes past 11 the time at the morning show, the Thursday edition. With me, Archie, here in the South Studios, and Mr. Olayomi Koiki in our North Studios. Now, yesterday we didn't talk about the strike. We talked about what ASU was saying. We were talking about the stalemate between ASU and the federal government, and still they've not got to a point where maybe one of them is going to calm down. No. It seems to be going on, and it's saying that strike, no end in sight. State varsities insist. So, what next?
Well, it seems the loggerhead between the federal government and the ASU is something that would definitely not be resolved before the end of this year. I'm not too sure whether there will be a solution to that. We've seen that already, that more of the political parties are more interested about the upcoming election as against the students that are being at home. And you're quite right, more students are becoming more frustrated. No end in sight. The state varsity insists. Some of the branches of the academic staff union of the university and in a state-owned university have now promised to remain on strike following the failure of the federal government to successfully negotiate with the national body. The national body will be having a meeting on Sunday. We talked about that. But it seems that the chairperson of ASU in the affected state university, described as ignorant calls for the suspension of the strike in state-owned university. So it doesn't seem that nothing is going to be resolved very soon, because it still seems that the pressure is still mounting, and that is going to have more effect. Since February 14 this year, ASU declared a national strike, thereby grounding all academic activities from the federal university up to the state-owned university. The only people that are still going to university, you definitely have this kind of money, and those are private universities. They're quite expensive, and it's not everybody that can afford it. The national body that has requested the federal government release some fund to the university and allowance, deployment of university transparency accountability, which we talked about yesterday, and I'm going to be talking about the Falcon that were left in the Turkish airport yesterday or day before yesterday. It still shows, the accountability, the transparency that have never been in any of the government, since 1960 when we had the independence. But the question remains is, some of the state universities like Kwara State University, Lagos State University, Osun State University, Kaduna State University, among other, pull out of the strike according to findings, however reveal that the majority of the state-owned university still remain on strike.
Well, somebody is asking me the question, how broke is the Nigerian government that they cannot actually meet these lecturers in a way, because we are talking about the stampede in admission of students to the universities, because some people have to go out and others come in. For almost, we are going to how many months now?
Well, like I said, since February, so you look at March, May, June,
about 6
July,
months.
August, almost 6 months, going to 7 months now.
Yeah, and it's quite serious, because if it goes through a year, then what happens to those who are virtually getting into the universities and those who have to also graduate? What happens to them?
Well, no one is going to graduate anytime soon, and nobody's coming in anytime soon as well. So that means everybody, is locked egg. What I can only say is it's going to be a tough time, It has been like that, Mr. Archie, and our listeners from around the world. This is not the first time that people are going on strike. So an average Nigerian university or an average Nigerian student knows that you're going in for a 3-year course, but you have to prepare for a 5-year course.
Wow. I mean, this is a place where, we talk about Africa, we talk about the fact that we don't respect time, we don't value time at all, and that is the scariest commodity. You lose it today, you can't gain it, you can't do anything about it. But well, let's continue. Adibambo Anthony Paul says, before 2 months, there's going to be an earthquake, and it's going to shake Nigeria. It's going to break up. My goodness. Now, Royal Ade, Yoruba Nation now is the only answer to the Nigerian problems. And believe yourself, channel says, ASU parents have concluded to pay 10,000 naira to support government. Oh, wow. Interesting. That's what people, parents will want their wards to actually complete university and get on with their lives. And people are prepared to pay that much. Well. Keep your comments coming through. It is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. In person, you do talk about the Falcon who have been left at the Turkish in Turkey. Now, what happened to them? What tournament did they go to? And how come that they've been left there?
Well, football is is something that excites so many of Nigerians across the globe as well. It's one of the most important games that people watch a lot. But it seems there were issues as the team were returning back to Nigeria after the FIFA Women's World Cup that was just played. From what we heard. I'm just reading the statement that have just been released again by the NFF. NFF have just issued a strong statement, indicted FIFA following the Falcons' ordeal at the Istanbul airport. The Falconets were left stranded at the Istanbul airport in Turkey as they headed home from the Under-20 Women's World Cup in Costa Rica. Nigerians have blasted the NFF for what may describe as a show of shame and national embarrassment. These were, people that have done, just as so many Nigerians, that says that, when Nigeria ever happened to you, it doesn't matter whether, in Nigeria or outside Nigeria, you would expect that footballers that are representing a country like Nigeria, as we are told, the biggest in Africa, the most populous black nation, but yet we cannot even get an aircraft to bring them back from Costa Rica direct back to Lagos or Muritala Mohammed Airport or Abuja Airport for a welcome reception, even if they have not performed very well. I don't know if that would have cost, heaven and earth. But the problem is more politicians will probably take their girlfriends for a round trip across the globe. But what we can say is, pictures started emerging of these footballers, female, sleeping on the floor of an airport in Turkey without a proper arrangement. What we were told is that, there was an issue with a transit visa. I believe all that should have been resolved before they even take off for the first leg. So according to what we are getting here, the Nigerian Football Federation has claimed that FIFA booked the Falconet ticket back to their home country, after they crashed out of the under-20 women. I was stunned after pictures showing the ladies sleeping at the Istanbul airport went viral.
Wow. What has the sports ministry said about that? Or the sports minister?
Well, that's exactly what the response I've just read now. They're actually blaming FIFA, for the ordeal that took place because FIFA actually organized, the ticket back. I'm not sure, how that played out because I'll expect, that is the role of the Nigerian Football Federation. Yeah. But just like we said yesterday during Nigeria Voices, transparency, accountability, you never get that in Nigeria.
Wow. Listeners, it is Starr Radio UK. Updates from Nigeria, 11:27 from the House of London. All right then. Well, yes, go on.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Okay. Pastor Momo says, imagine shameless politicians and a nation. Well, he thinks that should never happen, but it's happening. What do we do about that? Okay, Yomi, I said what you were going to say before we move on to.
No, you go ahead.
Okay. Now, the police minister has come out to say that, look, the president or the government, Buhari, is doing his best in fighting and crash the bandits. But he says it's quite a difficult task. So they are trying, but they've not gotten there yet. Now, why was he saying that? What has happened? And what is the presidency still saying about their fight against banditry, terrorism, and all that stuff?
Well, the issue of terrorism in Nigeria is one thing, that a lot of Nigerians, kept wondering, why is it taking so long, to flush and kill these terrorists if there's no other hidden agenda, that is taking so long, and the reason it's taking so long is because a lot of Nigerians and a lot of people now believe that the government, is using a very, very soft pedal when it comes to the issue of terrorism in Nigeria. They don't want us to call them terrorists, rather they want us to call them, bandits. And when you use the word bandit, as we've discussed here on Starr Radio UK so many times, that is literally something else entirely. So is the government going to do any more effort to stop it? I'm not too sure. But according to the headline, Buhari regime trying hard to crush, the terrorist, says police minister. Especially what he's going to say, when it's something that is getting, is payment from the government of the day. Mr. Dingi Yadi said the country would also continue to seek cooperation in intelligence and information sharing to curb the activities of the terrorists. Again, President Muhammadu Buhari regime has reiterated his commitment to tackling the terrorists and other criminal elements ravaging Nigeria within the best legal framework. Police Affairs Minister stated this during a courtesy visit by the Canadian High Commission to Nigeria. Remember that Canada and the Canadian government actually warned a lot of their citizens and Nigeria about travel issue to Nigeria that was given as an advice. And let me just pick that up, and you can expect that, definitely a minister of police will tell lies, just like, most of the government officials tell lies, especially when they see the foreign counterpart. This is what was updated as at yesterday on travel to Nigeria by the Canadian government if you're doing so at your own risk. Risk level: Nigeria, avoid non-essential travel to Nigeria due to unpredictable security situation throughout the country, significant risk of terrorism, crime, internal communion clashes, armed attack and kidnapping. Number 2, regional risk. Regional risk level: avoid all travel to the following regions due to the risk of terrorism, armed attack, kidnapping, intercommunion and sectarian violence. The northwestern state of Kaduna, Kano, Katsina, Sokoto, Zamfara, the north central Plateau, the northeastern state of Adamawa, Bauchi, Borno, Gombe, Jigawa and Yobe, the Niger Delta state of Akwa Ibom, Anambra, Bayelsa Delta. So definitely a minister of police representing a failed government would definitely tell anything, just to give false information. But those that they're telling, which is the Canadian High Commission to Nigeria, James Crisford, already giving advice from his government to tell those that are trying to go to Nigeria not to do so because of the high risk.
Well, I say it all the time, action speaks louder than words. Now, if you say you're going to be fighting them, we should have seen more action. I always tell people, I don't like talking more. I would rather act for people to, see that I mean what I'm saying. And the police minister saying that, well, they will do everything in the legal framework. That means, what are they doing? Are they talking about a slap on the wrist of the people? Because we are talking about the fact that they need to raise the level calling such people terrorists, so that the right action can be taken against them. But government doesn't seem to be doing so. So maybe, this one is somebody who has destroyed somebody's farm, and then they slap on the wrist and they leave them to go. Is that what they're talking about there?
Well, yes, like I said, when you look at what the minister is saying, according to the legal framework, if you're going to start using the word terrorism in Nigeria from the government perspective, it also have a kind of what international level is going to be discussing. But it seems Nigerian government is is downplaying the issue of terrorism in Nigeria, and if that is going to be the case, the international community that knows that there's an issue there will always advise their citizens in terms of traveling in and out of Nigeria. And also, like you said, the issue of terrorism is having a big impact on the economy. I was actually reading, just as we were discussing yesterday, many soldiers fell dead as terrorists again ambushed Nigerian army convoy in Zamfara state. So more killings is happening because there's a loophole somewhere among the military hierarchy in Nigeria. The troops were said to have been ambushed when they were having a patrol in some area on Wednesday. Yet to be ascertained the numbers of the soldiers has been killed, which was an ambush on a military convoy by gunmen suspected to be terrorists in Kakonwaji district of Bugundu local government area of Zamfara state. Remember that Zamfara state was also one of those areas that was mentioned that regional risk level, avoid all travel, according to the Canadian government.
Wow. May Nigeria not happen to you? We say it there. But let me read a few other comments and then I'll come back to Yomi for other stories making the rounds. Adebambo Anthony Paul says Nigeria has no value for life. Okay, Nigeria does not value life. Is that a country? Only solution now is that everybody should break up and let everybody go their own way. Okay, Amayo, hey Amayo, how are you? Yes, Amayo says that good morning, Starr Radio UK. Amayo says now education tax in Nigeria is 2.5% of companies' profit, and what has government done about that? And Pastor Momo also says, amen. Oh, may Nigeria not happen to us. Yes, the government is not doing what it's supposed to do. What can we say? We only have to hope and pray. But well, it is Starr Radio UK. Mr. Olayomi Koiki in our North London studios. I'm Archie here in the South studios, and we are bringing you updates from Nigeria. So I'll hand over to Yomi for the rest of the stories making the rounds. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much. At 34 minutes past 11, I welcome you once again if you've just joined us on the morning edition of the Starr Radio UK, where we review all the news coming out of Nigeria this morning. Wadome military panel cleared 10 soldiers. Balabere promoted, according to the headline. Use and abuse untold story of the Falconet World Cup campaign. As we said yesterday, we can't show those images, but it shows the negligence of a minister that should have been resigning this morning. But that is not going to happen in Nigeria. As we said earlier, the players who boarded a Turkish airline were on transit in Istanbul on their way from the Under-20 World Cup in Costa Rica after crashing out from the tournament following a 2-0 defeat to Netherlands on Sunday. Following a flight delay in Colombia, the airline that was scheduled to fly them to Abuja had left. They were made to endure a frustrating 24-hour stay at Istanbul airport. We thought our flight was for Tuesday, not knowing that it was for Wednesday, a team official told the media. You can imagine that we have people that should be managing a set of people in Nigeria, but this is what Nigeria does. The first ticket we had in Costa Rica at August 23rd on it, but when we got to Colombia, there was a 4-hour delay which made them change the ticket, and we had to undergo 24 hours of hell at the airport. So we hope again, may Nigeria never happen to you. Buhari extolled the Sultan of Sokoto at 66 years old. According to President Muhammadu Buhari, yesterday joined the entire Muslim Ummah in celebrating with the Sultan of Sokoto, Muhammadu Sa'ad Abubakar, as he turned 66 on August 24, 2022. The president sent a message through his media senior assistant, Garba Shehu. The statement is titled, President Buhari celebrate the Sultan of Sokoto, Muhammadu Sa'ad Abubakar. celebrating his 66 years old. So let's take a look at some of the other headline, and I go straight to the social media, but come back again to you first. Once again, Forex inflow will drop by 17% to $6.6 billion. We're not producing anything, even up to toothpick. On Instagram yesterday, I was watching a particular short video, how matches are made, and it's quite amazing. With a very small local production, and yet they could be able to produce tons of matches that is needed in almost our daily life for those that are still using it. From the cutting of the wood, to going into the system, breaking it down to the pieces, up to the finishing and the packaging. And this is what we expect Nigeria to be as the giant of Africa, as we have been told, for a very long time. But rather, we would rather import toothpick, matches, and even toilet roll, just as we said yesterday. $12 billion worth of pharmaceutical, plastic, and sugar are imported to the country. So the headline this morning says, Forex inflow will drop 17% to about $6.6 billion. The aggregate foreign exchange inflow into the economy will fall by 17.3%. That is about $6.58 billion in April. According to the Central Bank of Nigeria that disclosed this in its April monthly report on the foreign exchange flow through the economy, it stated the economy recorded a low net foreign exchange inflow of $2.63 billion from $3.53 billion in the preceding month. A similar total foreign exchange outflow decreased by 11.3%. That's about $3.95 billion. When you talk about all this big money, a lot of Nigerians are just more concerned about the food, the jobs, and how they can survive on a day-to-day. So that would now bring me back again to you in the studio, as we would come back and then review some of those headlines coming out of the social media this morning on Nigeria.
Yes, listeners, it is Starr Radio UK. Mr. Olayomi Koiki bringing you some updates, some of the stories making the rounds in Nigeria today. Okay, now I think that we'll go straight to what is happening on the social media. But if you have any comments, please feel free, send them in, and I promise you we're gonna read that. All right, over to you.
We'll go straight to the social media. Again, YouTuber is trending at number 5. For those that probably will not understand what a YouTuber means, a YouTuber are those that use YouTube as a source of their income, whether in gaming, whether in selling a product, or using it for educational purpose or different. But it probably won't happen in Nigeria, because Nigeria do not have that capacity when it comes to the usage of internet. So a lot of people that are back home that could also be earning a lot in terms of their skills on the YouTube will probably not be able to gain that advantage of the social media network because of the issues of the of the technology that is not available in Nigeria today. So I'm just looking at what Nigerians are saying. On a low, African YouTuber be YouTubing 80 million views just like that. Wow, Eric Okafor is something that I think a lot of people are talking about. That I'm not sure who that person is, but it seems is somebody that has reason why the tweet is going this morning. I believe he's a Nigerian, Eric Okafor, that has 80 million view milestone. Make music rest small today now for YouTuber, according to Tayo. I feel like YouTuber in Africa don't get enough respect for the hard work they do. We work so hard with limited resources, just like I said earlier, and yet never seems to get the respect we deserve, even though we are literally shaping the future of the media. Is it because we don't live flashy lifestyle? So we go straight to I can see Peter Obi is trending at number 6, and as usual, it seems that maybe Peter Obi will be heading to America, but it says there, according to what hashtag Peter Obi in America. Maybe Peter Obi, okay, it looks like he has a lot of followers in America, and according to Ahmed Abdullahi, Peter Obi is yet to arrive to the state, but the venue is already sold out. Nigerians in diaspora are really yearning for this national liberation. This is the first of its kind. Well, I'm not too sure that it's all Nigerians. And now let's quickly look at what more other people are saying when it comes to other areas as well. And when it comes to the continuation of the Yoruba Nation, the Yoruba Nation Clubhouse today will be having a conversation in the next 2.5 hours. And the topic that we'll be discussing will be the Nigeria electoral system, a sham or destruction. I come back now to you again in the studio, Mr. Archie, Star Radio UK.
Yes, listeners, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, Mr. Olayomi Koiki. Now let's look at one other story that you put quickly, and then we can do that, pertaining to the Human Rights Commission records, recording that 158,000 cases of gender-based violence in 2021. Is it pertaining to Nigeria?
Well, according to Mr. Ojukwu, who also said that the designated toll-free lines and digital platform was launched to direct a victim to a responder. I hope that are working because, as we know, Nigeria has a lot of issues. The National Human Rights Commission says 158,517 complaints on sexual and gender-based violence against women and children last year. According to the Executive Secretary of the Commission, Tony Ojukwu, made this known in Maiduguri and called to action workshop to develop the Northeast. Remember that only yesterday, United Nations is seeking 11 billion or thereabout to support, the acute, problem in the Northeast.
Yeah.
But according to the violence-based gender problem, it's not just in the Northeast, but it seems there's more of that in that particular axis, and the reason for that is because, again, of the terrorism that is having issues on that area. According to him, the Commission has created a counseling unit in addition to other departments handling women, children, and vulnerable groups to address the overwhelming complaint. Like I said, Mr. Ojukwu also said that a designated toll-free line and digital platform has now been launched. But yesterday during Nigeria Voices, somebody wanted to purchase an electricity, and he also said there was no network. So that means both platform was not working. He couldn't buy the electricity, and the network that was meant to provide the electricity was not also working.
Well, when things fall apart, that means that the center cannot hold. Chinua Achebe was all right at the time when he prophesied that in writing. But well, Yomi, before we go.
Well, you don't go yet because we still have Archie and the rest of the team that will be coming up, to take you through the rest of the program. I will be back again tomorrow. As you were all saying, the weather is a bit cold out here today. It's been raining all night up to this morning. So make sure you take proper care when you're going out. And if you're in Nigeria, if you see something, tell the security operatives, may Nigeria never happen to us.
Thank you very much. Have a lovely day.
Bye for now.
Bye. Well, listeners, that was Mr. Olayomi Koiki bringing you updates from Nigeria. It is Star Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Bringing the time now to 11:44. We take a musical break and some commercial, and then we'll continue with the program, looking at all others making the rounds elsewhere. My apologies. And after that, as I said, the lines will be open at 12 o'clock, and then at 12:30 we take a bow because of the technical upgrade that is going on. We have to do it gradually every time after the program, because we don't want to shut everything down for that to take place. So just bear with us, but enjoy the song. This is from Yaka Malay Ballet City, and they say So Much Trouble. It's a cover version of Bob Marley's song So Much Trouble in This World. Enjoy, and I'll be with you.
My eyes this morning.
worry, the song is gonna come your way. Believe yourself. I suppose there's something. He said, I beg, nothing they happen for Nigeria. Nothing they work at all. Let's switch it off. Make everyone go their own way. Of course. Well, I was about to say, well, if it's not working, you go into a marriage, it's not working, people are killing you. I mean, you eventually see that your life is a threat. Now, why do you stay there for? Well, believe yourself. And that is the way forward. What do you think?
So much trouble in the world. Bless my eyes this morning. The sun is in the rise once again. We don't think things are going. Anything can happen. Let's see who's sailing on our feet, don't trip. Bless up under spaceship. Million miles from reality. No care for you, no care for me. So much trouble in the world. So much trouble in
This is Starr Radio UK. All around the world.
Broadcasting worldwide online 24/7. Broadcasting worldwide online 24/7.
Do you think you'll find a solution? Or it's just another illusion? So before you check out this line, don't let cornerstone standing there behind you. It's got to taste the air. Come up here. We just let people talking. We the people struggling. Now we're sitting on our time bomb. Now I know the time has come. 'Cause sun up is coming down. Goes around and comes around. So much trouble in the world. 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 So much trouble. There is so much trouble. There is so much trouble. There is so much trouble. Yeah, man, bless and love. With some from Bob Marley.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Tune in to On Point here on Star Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Check me out. He tells me my energy is making him tired.
Yes!
How do you get the energy to do
I've been told that I have a lot of energy, but my goodness, I think today I have met my match, people. I have met my match, Miss Suzanne. Wow, amazing.
One of the things that's the start of the darkness. The whole of darkness.
So what did that
myself and the world will adjust. And 2019,
Forget the proverbial boardroom. Join me, Simone Frazier, on the CEO, the program that gives you the driving seat over your life. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. only on Star Radio.
Welcome back to the program, Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, bringing the time now to 7 minutes to 12. So in the next 7 minutes time, the lines will be open for you to add your voice to the discussions wherever you might be. And those of you still watching us on the Facebook and YouTube and all the platforms, I want to salute you. But you know, one best way of listening or watching us is via our apps. You go to our app store, just your app store, okay, whether iOS or Android, just type in Star Radio Global and then it will pop up. Just download the app. It is for free, and then you have all the TV session, and you can do whatever you want to do there. Okay, you wouldn't miss any. After live programs like that, we have music, the DJs taking over, playing lots of music. I mean, different types of music there, so you can enjoy it as well. All right, now let's move on to other parts of the world. Let's look at what is happening there. Yes, Star Radio UK. Okay, now in Ghana, retract, apologize for malicious defaming me or I sue. Bediatu tells Odike. Now, interestingly, this story talks about. Okay, let me read the story. The executive secretary to the president is demanding an apology and retraction from the founder of the United Progressive Party, now Akwesi Adai Odike, for allegedly defaming him. Nana Bediatu Asante said Mr. Odike comments on illegal mining against him are totally false. In a letter to Mr. Odike on Wednesday, that's yesterday, August 24, Mr. Sante's lawyers insisted that the UPP founder had said he had links to illegal mining in Bosumifrehu, claim they say is untrue. Now, he said, we are instructed to inform you, Odike, that the said publication that you put in the public domain is absolutely false. It is instructive to point out to you that you ought to have taken steps to verify the authenticity of the information before publishing same in the public domain, the letter says. The letter also added that Mr. Odike's failure to verify his claims means he intended to reduce Mr. Bediatu's reputation. Now, how true is that? Why would he do so? Somebody said, why would he do so or do that? Well, now carefully calculated to malign, cause public disaffection, injure their reputation, and reduce our client's reputation in the eyes of right-thinking members of society, the lawyers have thus threatened to take legal action against him if he does not retract the claims. In view of the aforesaid, we are instructed to demand an immediate retraction and apology for the malicious and defamatory publication within 1 week upon receipt of this letter. Now, the Golden Ferret say, please be informed that we have our client's firm instruction to commence legal proceedings against you to vindicate his grievances without further recourse to you should you fail to accede or request within the period stipulated supra. The letter concluded. Well, he said, you know what? I got nothing to do with what do we call them? Galamsey. But you know, interestingly, I'm not talking about him. But when you look at all these galamseyers and everything that seems to be going on, they've got some big hooks behind the scenes who seem to be supporting them in one way or the other. Whether financially buying them the equipment that they need and whatever, or some of them who are being facilitated that when these people get this gold and stuff like that, they are the one who see to sell them for them, making some. So there are lots of things that is happening. Now, can we all say that, well, when it comes to government, top hooks in government or governance, they are not in any way, shape or form linked with those what do you call them? Those mining, illegal mining thing that seem to be going on the African continent, especially in Ghana as well. What do you think about all that? But it's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. All right then. Now moving on straight to some other stories. So what is Odike going to do? Withdraw post-retirement contract of GES. That's what Dr. Apak is saying. And the story says the Member of Parliament for Boros South, Dr. Clement Apak, has urged President Akufo-Addo to withdraw the post-retirement contract of the Deputy Director General of the Ghana Education Service, Mr. Anthony Boateng. Now, Dr. Clement Apak, who is also a deputy ranking member of the Education Committee of Parliament, described the contract extension for Mr. Anthony Boateng as unjustifiable. So, are we trying to say that, well, if there is somebody who is on retirement age, but his services is such that we still need more until we get somebody substantive or who is equally capable of taking over his position, we shouldn't appoint somebody to take the continue to hold the fort until somebody substantial of that nature is found. It says Dr. Clement Apak, who is also a deputy ranking member of the Education Committee of Parliament, described the contract extension for Mr. Anthony Boateng as unjustifiable. He said in a quote, "I call on the presidency to withdraw the unjustified extension of Mr. Boateng's post-retirement contract. If the presidency fails to do so, Mr. Boateng himself, reportedly in a dilemma, should do the needful for declining the questionable contract extension granted him." In the quote, they continue, "I urge him, as the teacher unions have, to decline in the public interest." Now, Mr. Boateng has obviously benefited enormously from the state and should demonstrate patriotism by moving on, Apak reiterated. The retiree, Anthony Boateng, current appointment, the third time in a row, has reportedly been greeted with dismay by stakeholders in the education sector. So, in a court, it continues, the attempt, that is the letter that was written by Dr. Apak. He said the decision by the president Nana Akufo-Addo to extend Mr. Anthony Boateng's post-retirement contract as Deputy Director General of Education Management Services for a third time upon a request by the Minister for Education, Honorable Yawede Chum, has been greeted with mass disappointment by teachers, teacher unions, and Ghanaians at large, for good reasons. The attempt to justify the needless contract extension by suggesting that Mr. Boateng's skills are in short supply and are unavoidably needed to simply dishonest. How can anyone expect us to believe that among hundreds of experts and professionals in education, it is only Mr. Boateng who can serve as the Deputy Director General, Management Services, and oversee the establishment of the National Education Institute? Is it rocket science? Are we to believe that Mr. Boateng has been working alone all this while, and so no one can step in to continue from where he left off? I am certain that Mr. Boateng himself knows that the extension of his post-retirement contract for a third time is not justified. Therefore, if the presidency wouldn't do the needful by withdrawing his appointment, he should demonstrate raw courage and high integrity by declining. Now, sources tell us Mr. Boateng is confused as to whether to accept or not accept the unwholesome extension of his contract. The self-doubt is occasioned by the fact that he fully handed over and is aware that the GES Council is not in favor of his contract extension. Now, simply put, his absence will not do any irreparable damage to the GES or affect the establishment of the National Education Institute. Now, where is that Mr. Anthony Boateng indicated that he was not interested in extending his stay, and this was formally communicated to the GES Council. Now, subsequently, his notice of retirement letter was signed to enable him start processing for his SNIT benefits, and he is reported to have handed over on August 16. It is therefore strange that he was offered an extension which was not requested for by the GES, which ought to have made the case more. Interestingly, the request for extension did not go through the right procedure. Procedurally, the request for extension should be from the Director General of the GES to the GES Council to the President through the Minister for Education. Now, back was it last year thereabout when the is it Accountant General or the Auditor General was said to have reached his retirement age? What was his name? What was his name? If you are listening to me, I want to know the name of the former Auditor General in Ghana. And after his office was logged out, or he was logged out his office and blah blah blah, made to take an extended leave. And then when he returned to office, and then they said, you know what, you are about retirement age, so you got to go. And then he left. But that man was doing so much work for the state, where he was unveiling or revealing some rot that was going on when it comes to expenditure, whether from governance or from local councils or whatever it was. So how come that this man, whose duty somebody say anybody, anytime Dick and Harry could do, and as Dr. Apak said, it's not rocket science, should have his extended 3 times. So let's say if it's yearly, the first year, couldn't they get anybody to understudy him? The second year, they couldn't get anybody of the sort. Or is it a deliberate ploy to just keep whatever he's doing in a cocoon so that nobody sees it, so that nobody is capable of doing it? Is that what is happening? Well. It is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. 4 minutes past the top of the hour at a time. And let me announce the lines open. If you want to join in the conversation, feel free to do so. Call us on 0208-133-2257 or 58. 0208-133-2257 or 58. Now, for US and Canada, those of you who are there in the Caribbean area, it is 0017183032737. 0017183032737. You can also text or WhatsApp us. It is 07539661744. 07539661744. Our Twitter handle is Starr Radio UK, and email address is info@starradiouk.com. All right then. Well, one other story. Renowned broadcaster Kwesi Chei Dakwa, popularly known as KKD, says Ghanaians unfairly criticized former President John Dramani Mahama when he was in power. In a story, KKD said that even though Bahama was not perfect, it did so much for the country, which his communication team failed to let Ghanaians know about. He added that leading members of the New Patriotic Party are attacking presidents, including himself, for criticizing Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo administration, but the fact remains that Akufo-Addo's failure as president is making Mahama look perfect. Looking back now, I think Ghanaians are unfair to John Mahama. He didn't speak much. He had a communication team that failed him. they were more interested in hearing their voice than in speaking about the work that the man Mahama was doing. Now he goes on further to say, I have heard things said about him. He, Mahama, is my brother because for me, my father's mother has ancestors who come from the north. There was a time when somebody sat in a company with me dining, opened his mouth and said, we will never sit down for a northerner to rule over us. Now, so if we could victimize this person so much and now senior people in the NPP are calling me names for criticizing the government, we still love Nanado. But his governance has made Mahama look like Jesus Christ, he said. Wow. That is a direct hit at the president and the presidency and the government of Ghana. But what do you think about all that? Well. It is Starr Radio UK. 6 minutes past the top of the hour. We'll be running the program up exactly at 12:30. Now, heavy rains have triggered flash floods in Sindh province after soaking much of Pakistan's southwestern Balochistan and eastern Punjab province. Flash floods have now started to affect the southern Sindh as well. We'll be looking more into that when we go to other parts of the world. But residents of Algiers expressed mixed feelings ahead of Macron's visit. It's one of the historic and Black August, a time of reflection. There are some of the stories making the rounds there. ICC says Sudan Army Chief vows cooperation in Darfur, and Angolan election vote counting begins after poll close. And Libya, allegations of mistreatment of migrants. I remember a couple of months ago, I posted an image of what migrants were facing in Morocco, where they were being virtually hands tied behind them, maltreated. And when I posted it, they said that it was not. Some people have commented about it and therefore had to take that post down, that video down. And then another one where captures those who have been captured in Nigeria, the Ibadan, Kaduna rail incident that happened as well, and they had to take that one down as well. But this is another one that is happening. I'm not going to put a picture there, but if you look at the way people are being treated, because let me put it that way straight, because we are black. But that's a sad thing, because again, if our government are sitting up and doing the needful, I don't think people will want to leave their own countries to be slaves or be captured and be treated like animals. No. All right, then. It is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. To all of you who have traveled through those means and are making it, God bless you. And to those who are thinking of embarking on that, please don't. But again, somebody will tell you that if I live in my country and with all these difficulties and challenges, I will die. Nigeria happens to me and I die. But if I'm able to move from that place and I'm able to brace myself, go through the hard conditions and get myself to a place where life is better or life is respected and I can make an ends meet for myself, why not? So you get it? Well, Ethiopian army have announced on Wednesday that it had shot down the planes loaded with weapons destined for the Tigray rebels, which had violated Ethiopian airspace after flying over Sudan. The plane that violated our airspace from Sudan and which aimed to supply weapons to the terrorist groups was shot down by our Air Force. Yene said Koti General Tesfaye Ayaleo, who did not specify the origin of the aircraft or the date on which it was shot down. The fighting resumed on Wednesday in border areas of the Tigray region, with Tigrayan rebels and the federal government blaming each other for breaking a 5-month truce. The rebel authorities in Tigray initially accused the federal Ethiopian army of having launched a large-scale offensive against their position, before the Ethiopian government accused them of having broken the truce. The Ethiopian Federal Forces launched an offensive early this morning, that was Wednesday, around 05 hours, and we are, that is 02 hours GMT, and we are defending our position. The spokesman for the rebel authorities in Tigray, Gatichu Reda, said. On a Twitter, he spoke of a large scale of offensive against the position of the southern front of the Tigrayan rebels. Now, disregarding the numerous peace offers made by the Ethiopian government, the Tigray rebels forces launched an attack today, and that's what the government in response were also saying. Now, our valiant defense forces and all our security forces are responding victoriously and in a coordinated manner to this attack, the government said, calling on the international community to exert strong pressure on the rebel authorities in Tigray. The region is largely cut off from the rest of the country, and it's impossible to verify claims of either side independently. Well, it is All Star Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now we'll be moving on to other parts of the world, but that will be after this break.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for star, R for radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour show is your best source into the property industry.
Welcome back to the program. 13 minutes past 12 the time. The morning show. I'm Archie. Okay, the latter part of it. Now let's crack on. Now, the police chief in Texas has been fired over the school shooting, and Battle Police Chief Peter Arredondo has been fired. The police chief accused of watching the response to the fatal shooting of 19 school children and 2 teachers in Uvalde, Texas, has been sacked. The local school board voted unanimously to fire Peter Arredondo, who had been on leave since June. His lawyer said in the written statement that he had been unaware anyone was inside the classroom with the shooter. The firing came 3 months to the day since the attack and 2 weeks before the new school term begins. The attack at Robb Elementary School on the 24th of May was the deadliest U.S. school shooting in nearly a decade. Now, many parents and relatives have expressed deep anger at the police response, and there have been growing pressure for law enforcement to be held accountable. Mr. Arredondo has taken the brunt of criticism for officers' 77 minutes delay in confronting the teenage gunman and is the first officer to be dismissed. The cheering was heard in the auditorium as Uvalde Consolidated Independent School District Board of Trustees filed the motion to remove him from his post immediately. As Wednesday's evening's meeting began, some in the audience shouted, "Coward!" Now, school pupils, Kathleen Gonzalez, who survived the shooting, said her message for Mr. Arredondo was, "Turn in your badge and step down." Of course, they're going to say that one day because of what they suffered. It is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now, still firing of some police officers. Some sad ones there. Let me bring that one your way as well. The Japan police chief has said that He will resign over the killing of former Prime Minister Shinzo Abe. Itaru Nakamura, head of the National Police Agency, said he wanted to take responsibility for the July 8 shooting. An investigation has found there was serious flaws in how the ex-Prime Minister was protected. Mr. Abe was shot while speaking at a political campaign, even in the city of Nara. Event in the city of Nara. The 41-year-old gunman was able to walk up behind Mr. Abe and shoot him with a homemade gun, and he was giving a speech. The 67-year-old suffered 2 bullet wounds to his neck and damage to his heart, doctors said. Now, local police have already acknowledged undeniably flaws in security for Mr. Abe. In the process of verifying our new security plan, we have come to realize that our security duties will need a fresh start, Mr. Nakamaru told a news conference as he announced his resignation. Mr. Abe was Japan's best known politician and longest serving prime minister, but security was comparatively light as he delivered a stamp speech on streets in the western region. Now, security experts who have reviewed footage of the attack have previously told news agency Reuters that bodyguards could have saved Mr. Abe by shielding him or pulled him from the line of fire in the 2.5 seconds between missed first shot and the second fatal round of gunfire. The suspect, Tetsuya Yamagami, was arrested at the scene and admitted to shooting Mr. Abe, police have said. He confessed that he targeted Mr. Abe due to his belief that he was linked to a religious group which Yamagami said had financially ruined his family. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness. But it's all coming away from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Well, there seems to be some okay, let me bring you this one as well, because one of the top stories. Myanmar's military authorities have arrested the UK's former ambassador to Myanmar, Vicky Bowman, and her husband. Now, she has been accused of breaking visa rules and her husband with helping her to stay in Myanmar, charges that could result in up to 5 years in jail. Now, what do you think the UK is going to do now? Now, Ms. Bowman served as ambassador in Myanmar from 2002 to 2006. She is married to Tien Lin, a Burmese artist and former political prisoner. She runs the Myanmar Center for Responsible Business based in Yangon. The pair have been sent to insane prison in the city with a trial scheduled for the 6th of September. The UK embassy says they are providing consular assistance to her. The MCRB described itself as an initiative to encourage responsible business activities throughout Myanmar. It cooperates with the Institute for Human Rights and Business, now whose aim is to make respect for human rights part of everybody's business. Now, Myanmar military regime has been accused of widespread violation of human rights. Early this month, generals extended their emergency rule until 2023 as the country remains riven by internal fightings. The junta seized power last year after overthrowing Aung San Suu Kyi's democratically elected government. What would the UK do? This is an ex-ambassador who fell in love with a Burmese person, and well, so what is going to happen? What is going to happen? They say she's overstayed her visa. Interesting. What do you think is going to happen there? One other story from the world front, and then we move on. I'm supposed to be a couple though. Okay, now, as Ukraine was celebrating its 31st anniversary of independence, a Russian rocket struck and on a railway station, killing 25 people, Ukraine says, on the day marking the 6th month since Moscow's invasion. The 5 of the victims of the attack in the eastern town of Chaplin are burnt to death in a vehicle. Officials said 2 boys aged 6 and 11 were also killed. President Vladimir Zelensky reported the strike during an UN Security Council meeting. A further 31 people were hurt. Now, Russia said it hit a military train, killing hundreds of Ukrainian troops as a result of a direct hit by an Iskander missile on a military train at the Chaplin railway station in Dnipropetrovsk region. More than 200 servicemen of the reserves of Ukraine armed forces and 10 units of military equipment were destroyed on their way to combat zones in Donbass, its defense ministry said in a statement. Ukraine has made no mention of military deaths in the strike. Now, Moscow has repeatedly denied targeting civilian infrastructure. Speaking on Thursday, UN Human Rights Commissioner Michelle Bachelet called on Russia president to halt armed attacks on Ukraine. Mr. Zelensky said he had learned of the strike on Chaplin in the Dnipro region as he was preparing to speak to the Security Council, adding, "This is how Russia prepared for the UN Security Council meeting. 4 passenger carriages are on fire now. The number of fatalities could increase," he continued. Now, when will this all end? That is a question that's on the lips of most people when it comes to this war in Ukraine. Now, getting closer to home now. Sewage in sea. French is appealing to EU over UK discharge of waste. Well, it's interesting. Some people discharge migrants across, and some people discharge waste. Some are crying. It is interesting, isn't it? Now, the UK is threatening health and marine life on the French coast by allowing raw sewage to be dumped in the Channel and North Sea, says 3 Euro MPs. Now, pollution warnings have been issued for almost 50 beaches in England and Wales after heavy rain caused sewage overflow to be diverted into rivers and the sea. The French members of European Parliament accuse the UK of neglecting environmental commitment and risking marine life and fishing. Now, British water companies have said they are investing in solving the problem since its departure from the European Union. The United Kingdom had neglected its environmental commitment. The MEP said in a letter calling for legal or political action for a European Commission. A UK government spokesperson said the allegation was simply not true. Despite no longer being bound by EU laws, the UK was still a signatory to the relevant United Nations Convention on Protecting Shared Waters, the MEPs argue. The 3 MEPs all belong to the French President Emmanuel Macron's pro-EU En Marche party. One of them, Pierre Caskin, chairs the European Parliament Fisheries Committee. Well, it is all Starr Radio, okay? Interesting. Some shit exporting or allowing migrants, others are allowing the shitter. My apologies. It's interesting there, you know. But well, it's all Starr Radio, okay? We're going to be running out pretty soon. Now, please avow not to rest until Olivia's killers are caught. Detectives hunting a gunman who shot a dead Olivia Pratt-Cobell says they are working around the clock. And information that was coming through said that a second man has been arrested. The deputy, police have held a news conference following a series of gun murders in Liverpool. We will not rest until we find you, and we will find you. Lead detective tells the killer of 9-year-old Olivia Pratt-Cobell. A second man involved in Monday's night's incident has been identified by police, and the 35-year-old intended targets of the attack will return to prison when he leaves hospital. Meanwhile, a man and woman have been arrested over the killing of Ashley Dale, 28, on Sunday. Now, 3 men arrested over the death of Sam Rima, 20, on 16th of August have been released on bail. Now, officers repeat their appeal for information over all 3 incidents amid fast-paced investigation that seemed to be going on. But it's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK on a Thursday morning here. A wet day here in the UK. I got a couple of stories to bring your way, but stay tuned. About 3 stories. Now, Rishi Sunak has criticized the government's response to COVID, suggesting independent scientific advisors were given too much authority. Now, Mr. Sunak, Chancellor in the pandemic, told Spectator magazine there had not been enough discussions about the negative sides effect of lockdowns. He said the government had empowered official scientists and tried to scare people through advertising campaigns. But ex-number 10A Dominic Cummings said he was talking dangerous rubbish. Now, Mr. Cummings, who was a key Downing Street advisor during the first part of the pandemic, accused Mr. Sunak of unfairly blaming Boris Johnson and others. The Sunak interview is dangerous rubbish. Reads like a man whose epically bad campaign has melted his brain and is about to quit politics, he added. Mr. Sunak is battling Foreign Secretary Liz Truss to replace Mr. Johnson as Conservative leader and Prime Minister in 2 weeks' time. Now, during the campaign, both candidates have sought to highlight areas where they disagreed with the government in which they served, with Ms. Truss saying he was opposed to the rise in national insurance. As Chancellor from February 2020 to July 2022, Mr. Sunak played a key role in the government response to coronavirus, including establishing the furlough scheme at the Eat and the Eat Out to Help Out scheme. And speaking to the Spectator, Mr. Sunak insisted he did not want to blame individuals, but said he believes a series of mistakes were made by ministers during the pandemic. He said ministers were not given enough information to scrutinize analysis produced by the Scientific Advisory Group for Emergency, a group of independent experts advising the government. He told the magazine he had asked for summaries of the assumptions behind SAGE's modeling for the first year of the pandemic, but could never get them. This is the problem, he was quoted as saying. If you empower all these independent people, you are screwed. Oh my, oh my, oh my. But Dominic Cummings calls that, he calls it let me bring you what Dominic, it says that it is a dangerous rubbish. So he shouldn't have said that. Okay, we're going to be running up pretty soon. A man, 92 years, has passed GCSE maths exam with top mark. My goodness. Now, I don't know what happened. A 92-year-old man believed, I think I'm going to employ him tomorrow. The 92-year-old man believed to be the oldest person in the UK to sit a GCSE exam has passed his maths paper with a grade 5, the highest mark possible for the foundation course he studied. Now, Derek Skipper from Orwell in Cambridgeshire sat the exams after studying via Zoom. He last sat maths exams in 1946 when he used a slide rule. By this time, he had a calculator and magnifying glass to help with his poor eyesight. He said he was delighted with his pass. Now, speaking after the June exam, Mr. Skipper said, "If I get a 5, I'll be very chuffed. But it's a but if it's a 4, I'd accept that. My family thought I was nuts for trying it, but hey, we're also very supportive and were helped me out as well." The Cam Academy Trust, which runs Combatant Village College, where he sat his exam, said Mr. Skipper was the oldest person to sit a GCSE exam. Oh my! Congratulations to you. He got a 5. He got a 5 on maths. That's a good one, isn't it? Well, it's all Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. The final story pertaining to exams. The pass rate for this year's GCSEs in England, Wales, Northern Ireland has fallen since 2021, but remains higher than 2019. In London, 32.6% were marked at grade 7, that is A and above, but in Northeast England and in Yorkshire and Humber, just 22.4% got top grades. Now, this gap is wider than in 2019 and 2020, with some opposition parties saying the government has failed peoples. Now, School Minister Will Queens says the government is trying to address the gap, but that schools have a responsibility to tackle inequalities too. The overall pass rate is still much higher than last time exams were sat before the COVID pandemic. In Wales, 25.1% of grades were A and A star, and in Northern Ireland, 37% were A and A star. So it looks like Northern Ireland did much better than the whole of the United Kingdom and Ireland. Now, those taking BTech first and other level 2 qualifications are also getting their grades today, but some are facing delays. I say congratulations to all of them, and let me say good morning and congratulations to Mara. Yes, Cole Van Le, who also passed with flying colors, and all the team, and as many who also sat for that exam. I say congratulations to you all, and may the skies be your limit. May you continue to fly high and make your parents proud there. 12:31, and this is where I bring the program to a close for today. Remember, tomorrow will be coming your way with another edition of the morning show, but that one is going to be the Thank God It's Friday edition. And I bring you this song, one that I've fallen in love of late, and it says Something Inside So Strong, one from Mika Paris. Enjoy it. And when that song ends and you don't hear from me, it's been me, Archie, saying have a top of the day. Bye bye for now.
The higher you build your barriers, the taller I become.
Thanks for listening.
The harder you take my rights away, the faster I will run.